This is a long list, so let's take a seat here. Originally, I thought the owner only had kept records since 2001. I found another book. I was like, oh, kept records since 1993. Okay. And then I find another book and I open it up and I see a date. And the earliest date is October 1978. So these are all the books. So the first one you can see, it did oil change in October, September 1979. December 22, 1979, he greased the front wheel bearings, changed the air filter at 58,000 miles, changed the main relay. Goes on and on. Redid the brake shoes in the rear in 1982. He installed the Weber carb in 1983. Installed new rear shocks, KYB gas adjust, and he wrote the part number. And this history goes all the way February 21st, 1993, where he greased the front wheel bearings again. Okay, so that's the first book. Here's the second book, Red Toyota. He installed a rebuilt water pump in 1993 of October. New alternator belt, part number. Goes on and on, on and on. He changed the engine in the year 2000. He put in new struts the year 2000. This is the third book. This is what I thought I only had originally. In 2008, he installed a used rear end. He had the gears, the gear lube, the axle seal part numbers, how much oil was added, the gasket for it, and the part numbers. In 2015, he overhauled the carburetor. He told me he would overhaul the carburetor every time he needed to go smog it. This brings to the end. Before I bought it, he installed serviceable spark plugs. He installed new clutch master. And then I got the car 12/6. I just wrote that in after the fact. New owner. 12/19, I replaced the driver's side door handle. I bought it on eBay on this day for this amount of money. And then yesterday, I rewired the headlights and repaired the driver's side hood hinge. Okay, so besides these books, all right, we have two third members here. AC compressor, clutch master, another clutch master. Oh, look at this carburetor. A replacement carburetor, looks pretty clean. Spare intake manifold. Interior pieces that belong in the car. Cap and rotor. What looks like fuel pump relay. Corner light. The e-brake, which I need to install. Some sort of bracket. I don't know where this goes. Comment down below if you know. That's a throttle bearing with clutch tool and a pilot bearing. Looks like an old fuel sending unit. Various seals. Distributor gear. Probably had so many miles on the car that he needed to replace this. Because after a while there's probably a lot of play and the ignition timing would jump. We have lots of gaskets. And then one thing that I found, OEM brake shoes. And then this is the bling bling here. Brand new from the dealer. Look at that. Looks like an old heater core. An alternator with voltage regulator. Window rubber for our leaky car. I got to figure out where all these seals go. But they're all original Toyota seals. Look at that. These look like door seals. Maybe rear window strip, more weather stripping. Tension rod brackets. One of them are cracked, so we replaced it. Looks like some emission hoses. Looks like a fuel pump. An original Toyota fuel pump. There's another spare one in one of those boxes. Some sort of vacuum switching valve for the carburetor. Radiator cap. Rear brake shoes. Rear drums. AC evaporator. It has Toyota part number on it, so I think it is original. We have the stock exhaust manifold, so we can pass smog. Okay, spare steering box. AC parts. Interior trim that's missing right now. 2 voltage regulators and driver's side mirror. This one looks like heat shield to pass smog. And then EGR stuff. More gaskets. Oh yeah, all the stuff to pass smog for your hot air intake. Looks like alternator bracket, AC bypass ducting, more AC hoses. Oh, extra center cap for Celica Supras. Timing chain gear, more brackets and hardware. Another voltage regulator, washer tank, coolant reservoir, more EGR stuff. Another voltage regulator, a coil, an igniter, hot air pickup tube, hot air intake, more gaskets, which I'm going to put on the shelf, distributor cap, fuel filter, tension rod brackets, and a whole bunch of receipts when he installed it. Lifetime limited warranty. I could probably just give his phone number. Carburetor rebuild labor, 2-barrel, replace gaskets and seats, $193 to rebuild. Oh, he rebuilt the carburetor again in 2016. He rebuilt the transmission in 1999. He repaired the radiator, cost $68 in 2008. So they did a master overhaul because it made noise in all gears except for fourth. And it was $522 to overhaul the transmission back in 2007. Lots of tires. He went through lots of tires. Anyways, so a lot of good information here. A lot of history on this car. Yeah, there's a spare 20R in here, and that's above cover. Let me show you what I did to the car. So one thing I noticed is when I went to go pick up the parts, he covers all his cars, and he always covers them at work. So even though this thing looks beat up, this thing has 880,000 miles. And I mean, the paint could look decent if we just buff it out. I replaced the door handle. Look at that. Isn't that nice? Anyways, I got a big mess in there because I was trying to troubleshoot the lights. But I fixed the lights, and they work now. And then the hood doesn't flop around anymore. I could just lift it up. Anyways, that other hood hinge is on its way out. A little bit of binding. Still got to mess with that. What I did was wire up this headlight relay, and now it works. For this, I got to put some nylocks in and just kind of bend it more. Eventually those are going to go out, so I should probably just weld washers like how I did to this side. It's kind of a quick video. That's it for now. Thank you for watching. I'm going to open and close this door.